Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Your mom in the fucking stand!
But instead of waking him and helping him out, we did get to deal with my mother breaking her arm.
Did she break it fully?
Babe.
I know. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I just thought is that what a fracture is?
Yeah.
It's broken?
Yeah, it's broken.
Sorry, I just didn't understand the diagnosis.
Yeah.
Jeez. So does she have a full cast on now?
Yeah.
Oh my God. How is she not in much more pain that day?
She's so ridiculous. So this is what she did. They're staying. We got them a room in the hotel, and they're like 4 doors down. So in the morning, because they get up super early, right? I was like, I'll call you. I'll wake up kind of early because we're still like, we're doing shows. And so I call them, I think like 8 in the morning. And I'm like, hey, and my dad goes, well, your mother broke her arm. And I go, what? She fell and she broke her arm. And I'm like, okay. He goes, she doesn't think it's open or broken. She doesn't want to go to the hospital. I'm like, well, you should go. And I can hear, give me the phone.
Oh my God.
I'm like, hey, Mom. She goes, I didn't break it. It hurts. And I go, well, how do you know it's not broken? Because it's fine. And I'm like, okay, what happened? She's like, I was going to help your father, and I tripped and I fell, and I landed on the arm.
Oh.
And I'm like, I really think you should go at least get it checked out. Go get an x-ray. No, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay. So I go down the hall, and she answers the door like this. And she's like, I'm like, I think you broke it. And she's like, no. She's like, it hurts if I turn it like this, or if I go like this, it hurts. I'm like, Mom. So
annoying.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, you're just going to be like this all day. Like, just if it's not broken, you should know that it's not broken. Like, just go into the ER. I don't want to. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, how'd this happen again? So then she shows me that she had gone from the bedroom, and there's like this little, living room, whatever area, right? From the bedroom to this hotel room. She goes, I saw him carrying things. I went to help him. I tripped here, and I fell onto the cart, like the room service cart.
Oh my God.
And then she goes, and I broke my arm, or I hit my arm there. And I'm like, okay. And then I turn, and I see that the room service cart is now in front of a table, like a desk, that like a lot of hotel rooms have like a desk, right? That you can. And I noticed that desk is covered in a fluid, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, is that coffee? And they're like, what? I go, what's on the desk? Is this coffee? Oh, I guess so. And then I look, and the cart that she had fallen on had a coffee pot. And so it had knocked over. And then I looked down, and the floor is covered in coffee. And the chair is covered in coffee. And I was like, hey, did you guys notice the coffee? And my dad's like, what coffee? I'm like,
my God.
That is everywhere? No, he's like, what should we do? I go, get a towel. We can start there. So then it's like, it's weird because as your parents get older, they become like kids. Like,
yeah. That's
the same thing I would tell Ellis. Like, did you knock this over?
Yeah.
Can you get a towel so we can clean it up? So we start cleaning it up. I called room service to come to their room for me. So that guy comes in, and he comes in, and my mom goes, I broke my arm, but my son only cares about the coffee that is spilled everywhere. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, my arm's broken, but he wants to make sure that your chair is clean and I'm like, first of all we've talked about is your arm. Like, from the moment I woke up, I've been telling you to go to the emergency room. Now she's like, all he cares about is the coffee that's spilled. I was like,
oh my God.
This is what, and then, yeah.
Infuriating.
And this is how it's total more foreign mom syndrome.
Gaslighting.
Yeah, gaslighting, and then doing a performance for strangers.
Yeah.
And also flipping the story.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, actually, my son's been telling me to go to the hospital for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So there was that. That's when I was just like, you know what? I hope it is broken. And then, they finally went to the hospital later, hours later, and I got the call. Yeah, it's fractured, and she's in a cast now. She was in a temporary cast, and then she got back and got in another cast. And she's like, it really hurts. I'm like, right, because it's broken. That's why it really hurts. You broke your arm.
So terrible. It's so scary to think that happens. I mean, it happened to you, but you were playing basketball.
Yeah.
She was just like, I was helping your father, and then I fell down and broke my. Oh my god. Oh, it's so annoying.
So exhausting.
I know. We took a lot of Xanax.
I took Xanax. I drank almost every night. You know, I don't.
Oh, I drank every night.
I drank almost every night. I was smoking cigars. I was eating like 2 and 3 times the amount of edibles. I was doing them all together too.
You were out on the balcony just wilding out.
Yeah,
I got
standing
out,
on the balcony.
The next morning, I went on the balcony and I just see these like cups with like jalapenos in them. I'm like, oh, that's his cocktail from last night. Like he just leaves them on the balcony. There's a stogie out there. I'm like, you poor man. You just needed to be alone.
That really was coping. I didn't like I was as soon as we like got back from there, I was
fine.
Totally fine.
Totally relaxed.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting
it's
now.
Funny that family can really stress you out.
Really ruin you. And I really felt empathy for you after, like now as I know I've known them for years. I love them, but seeing what it's like from your perspective and just really understanding that now, I'm like, oh, I mean, no wonder you're a maniac, really.
Yeah.
You didn't have.
I should be way crazier.
Way crazy.
I should be. We talked about this a bunch, but like, with your upbringing, you're like, I should be a heroin addict. I should do porn. I should right? Like
at least
that's the
at least.
And I feel like I should be like I channeled it into the only positive outlet that I see.
Comedy.
Right. I'm saying if I hadn't done that, it would have. Man. Yeah.
Oh, it would have been.
I mean, I just would have been. The negative way to channel what I have going on in me would have been, I don't know, mental illness, fighting,
anger.
Yeah.
Well, because you and I are both I think I dealt with a lot of anger my whole life, and I channeled that into stand-up and rebelling, and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I saw this great quote from Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
That said, getting drunk, taking drugs, and getting arrested isn't getting back at your shitty parents. Doing the opposite, becoming very successful, learning more, reading more, and being better than them is the best way to get back at your parents. So it really is a choice of, am I going to go down this road of destruction?
Those are wise words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously misquoting it. It was I saw it on Instagram. But like the idea of, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to destroy yourself? Are you going to drink every day? And
a lot of people do.
And they do. And that's their whole life. And it's like, fuck you, mom and dad. But who is that really hurting? It's just you. Or you could be positive like you did. And I'll channel this thing into stand-up. And I'll develop a skill. And I'll use these negative emotions and make something really good. So thank God. Jesus Christ. Dude, if I didn't have comedy, I'd probably just do, I didn't like drugs a whole lot. I just like bang dudes. I'd be like one of those sad.
There's a lot of those girls.
Sex, like love, sex girls.
Those are sad girls too, where they go, not like having a lot of sex, but I'm saying when it gets to like this, extreme amount where they're always looking for that connection.
Yeah.
And they can't seem to find it anywhere. So you have like dozens of relationships that don't end up anywhere. It's the same type of thing.
I mean, thank God. People are always like, how do you and Tom, and I'm like, you know what? I think the secret to you and I in many regards is that our unconscious stuff meshes really well.
Probably.
Like our issues are just, it's so great.
Yeah.
Like when you get upset, the codependent in me wants to fix it right away. It's just a great balance we have.
It is a great balance.
Just a good dance. Like when you're upset, I want to stop it. And, when I get upset, you just avoid me. It's really perfect. You just let me spiral.
How I was raised. Hello, and thank you for watching that highlight. If you want to see more of those, we have them. They're provided for you. So enjoy. Just do a deep dive like you're trying to study us. Click on these and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and then they'll just be delivered to you. You can watch them when they come out. Please do it.